everybody, and welcome to another episode of Turn It Up. All right, I don't have any Bigfoot stories this week. Nothing. Nobody's gotten with me and told me to tell their stories, so we're not going to do Bigfoot stories, which saddens me because I enjoy telling them, and I like spreading people's stories who don't want to tell them themselves, and they want me to tell them for them. I'd be more than happy if I enjoy doing it. So I'm just going to give you a little update. That intro track, just a rough track. This is what my band's working on. We're getting together and we're working out song ideas and playing different tracks, different riffs, and playing different beats. These are all rough recorded. This is not studio yet quality. These are just rough ideas. And then we send them to Jim, and Jim Lines is the singer of my band, and Jim's the principal songwriter, and it gives Jim something to sit down with and listen to and work out song ideas to. So that's just something that we're into, and that if there's anything in music that I enjoy, it's creating. It doesn't matter what it is. If I'm playing the kazoo. It doesn't matter if I'm playing the kazoo. If I'm creating kazoo parts, I'm enjoying it. I love to create. That's my favorite part is creation. And I guess in our process too, I like a raw sound. I don't like a glassy, pre-recorded sound. I like a rawer sound, a more live sound, a more stripped back sound. And there's nothing wrong with other bands doing the glassy. I love that too. Like Def Leppard's albums are brilliant, but they're super studio imposed. I'm more into the stoner rock stuff, raw energy, raw sound. I really enjoy it. So I try to look for that in what I'm doing too when I'm creating. Just what I tend to go with is more of that style. To each their own. I'm not putting anybody down. Stop that. I'm not putting anybody down. Everybody's got their own thing and how they want to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong way to go about making music. It's what you feel inside you that do. But one thing I did want to talk about is when people ask me about these drum videos, or they show me a drum video and of drummers, and like that guy's really great. Check this out. And why it's phenomenal to be able to roll around a kit and do 1,000 rudiments and being able to play these lightning fast licks. To me, that's not what I go for in drumming. But don't get me wrong. You get behind a kit and you're going to start playing fast licks and drum rolls, and like I've spent many hours learning double bass licks and rudiments, the right, left with your kick, right, left with your hand, right, left with your kick, right, left with your hand, right, left. So, but that's maybe 16 seconds of a song, and the rest of the song is it's all about the beat. If I could get with any young drummer or anybody that's wanting advice from me on where do they start in drumming, well, the first place you start in your drumming is on the one. And if you start with 1 on the kick, 2 on the snare, 3 on the kick, 4 on the snare, you're halfway there. And then you ride your hand out the rest of the way. Drumming is about the beat. It's about the beat. Plain and simple, the beat is where it's at. And a lot of these guys I've watched, and they can't keep a beat. They can't keep time. Another strong suggestion that I give any young person that's wanting to start in drums, and look, I'm not sitting here claiming to be no great drummer. I'm not. I can fall in with any band and I can get behind drum set. Just this last week, I went down. They had a local jam thing, and they were asking for musicians to show up. And I showed up with my bass, and I was like, well, I'll go down there and play a little bass. And we don't have a drummer. Do you know any drummers? And I was like, well, I can play drums. And I play drums in my band. And they were like, would you mind go getting your drum set? So I went home, grabbed my drum set, ended up playing 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s country and rock and roll songs, stuff that I'm not familiar with. By no stretch of the imagination do I know these songs, but I managed to sit in there all night long. We played for 4 hours straight. I played on every song, and I managed to pull off the show, and they were mighty happy that I was playing drums. But I'm not bragging about that. I'm not saying, well, Ben's a great drummer. I know great drummers, and I've been around great drummers. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to be a great drummer to be a drummer. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to know every rudiment. You don't have to know how to play double bass licks. You don't have to know how to do anything other than keep a beat, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Now, natural curiosity and natural wanting to be better will drive you into learning other things, but learning the beat will make you a great drummer, and it'll make you a drummer that's sought after by other musicians because they want somebody they can count on that can get back there and play a beat, play drums, and be rock steady. So another thing that I recommend for young musicians is a metronome. You use a metronome. Learn how to stay in that tempo the whole time. Learn your click. Play with a click track. Learn how to stay in time. There's all kinds of flavor that you can do inside that 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. But you got to know where that 1, 2, 3, and the 4 is and how it flows. But you can lay your groove man, I like to play heavy. When I play drums, I play as heavy as I can, even on this electric kit here. If you've seen it up here in person, it's got little stick marks all over it and everything else, because I like to play heavy. I like to take a little aggression out when I'm playing drums. Drums is my release to get aggression out, to make me a calmer person, and it's really helped me with that. I recommend that too for anybody. If you're, I'm not going to say anger issues, but let's not go anger issues. But let's say you're a high-strung person or a person that gets worked up real easy. It's not good to pin all that inside you and keep it inside you. And I've struggled with that my whole life. 30 minutes into drumming, I'm a happy camper again. I'm right back to where I need to be. I'm smiling. I'm juvenile. I've let out a lot of my stress. When the boss be getting to you, or your coworkers be getting to you, or people just be getting to you. You know, when I was a young man, I thought these were everything. I thought you could solve the whole world with this. I thought if long as I had these two right here, it wasn't nothing. As you get older, old age humbles you. Humbles you in ways that you never knew that you could be humbled. I've recently had some battles with sugar and really set me back. Made me not as cocky of a person as I used to be. Humbled me. Taught me respect. But I've been trying to flip my life around for a while now. I've been trying to not be that person, that type A personality, super aggressive, only seeing things my way, getting mad at the drop of a dime. And I've been trying to see other people's views and learn that other people don't perceive everything the way I perceive. And if I stop and listen or walk a mile in their shoes, maybe I'd see where they're coming from. And I'm trying to be that person. I'm trying to be better all the way around. But one of the big reasons why I'm trying to be better, and like I'm making no secrets about it. I'm not ashamed of anything. I've flipped my life around, and I've gotten back into Christianity, and that's helping too. God's working with me. I'm never going to sit here and claim or that I know what's right and you don't. I'm not that kind of person. I'm the biggest sinner there ever was. I still sin every single day, but I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better person, and I'm trying to get my life to be better. And I'm trying to add something on my way out. There's a lot of things in life that I missed out on. I missed out on a lot of quality time with my kids. I worked my nose to the grindstone every single day and put in as many hours as I could. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, guys. I'm not. But if I could go back and do some things, I'd spend a lot more time with them. Because they grow up fast and they're grown. And I wish I could go back and spend a few more days with them when they were young and appreciate them while they were young. You know, I love my kids to death, and I'm not saying anything, and I supplied for them, and my job's helped me put anything that they wanted, they got, and my job was the reason why. The reason why I have a house, the reason why I can afford drums, the reason why I can afford basses, and all these albums and stuff. So I'm not sitting here and fussing about my job. I'm just saying, as you get older, life humbles you, and one of the humbling things was learning from my mistakes. And I've made a bunch of them. I made so many mistakes. You know, I wish I'd been a better husband. I wish there's a better father, a better teacher along the way. I've had a lot of people come in and out of my life that I could have helped so much more than what I did. I've always tried to help people. I've always tried to do what I can, but a lot of times I let ego get in my way of helping people, where I thought, well, you're not going to take advantage of me. You know, you're not going to take advantage of me. And that wasn't necessarily always the case. The person just didn't see things the way I see things. And so I got off track. I'm sorry. I'm going all around the world. My show, I can do it. Go all the way around the world if I want to. But to get back to what I was talking about, drums help with that. It helps After, and you could tell just by this show right here, my mind tends to squirrel on me every now and then. I'm thinking of 500 things all the time. I get anxious. I have anxiety issues that I didn't know or wouldn't never before never would tell you I had an anxiety issue, because as I was raised, the guys didn't admit they had a weakness, but I do have anxiety. I just handle it different than other people with anxiety issues have. I constantly think of things and worry about things and stuff like that. But an hour into drumming, anxiety's gone. Anger's gone. Hostility, negativity. And about an hour in, all of a sudden, the beat is taken over, and I'm in a happier place. I mean, people who tell you if you've seen me play drums, you could tell when I'm playing drums that I'm happy. That I'm happy, and I'm not be like that, but sooner or later I'm going to break down, and you're going to see me having a really good time. So I recommend that for anybody. And look, man, you can buy these electric kits and set them up in your house. It ain't like having a big banging acoustic set, which is awesome. But you can get these electric kits, and you can set them up, and you can put some headphones on, and you can just wear them out. I recommend that for everybody. It's therapy. You could go see a shrink, or you can go get one of these electric drum sets and sit here and play all night long, and you'd be surprised. I bet you they come out pretty close to one another. It's great therapy. I've got friends that I work with who their kids are playing drums, and I think it's just great. I think, as a musician, I think part of our jobs as musician is to inspire kids in any way we can and help them in any way we can. Leaving the stamp of another person put on this earth, like I done my top 10 favorite drummers, and I'm going to do Ben's next top 10 favorite drummers. But there's favorite drummers in there that aren't people who have toured around the world or major recording studio artists or anything like that. They are favorite drummers because they've taught me, they've showed me things, they've inspired me along the way. Just two of the guys, and you'll hear me mention them in these videos all the time, but I can't say enough about Brad Warren and Keith Waters. I hit the wrong button. That wasn't supposed to be laughter. I can't say enough about Brad Warren and Keith Waters. Look, if you ever get a chance, Brad Warren plays drums, I think, with Sidney Mays right now, an incredible guitar player. You've got to check Sidney out, man. Sidney's got it going on. He's got his own recording contract. He plays with other artists, sought out, top-notch guitar player, but Brad plays drums with them. So anytime you see Sidney or you see me share something of Sidney and playing, Brad's probably going to be the guy playing drums with him on most occasions. I know there's some dates and stuff that there might be changes, but Brad's a phenomenal drummer, and he's got his own style. He plays and he makes it look so effortless, like he's just bored to death being up there, but he's not. He's having the time of his life every time he gets behind the drum kit. Super talented. Been around him my whole life, and he was talented at a young age, but his work ethic to the craft over the years has been phenomenal, and it's something that it should inspire anybody. And anytime you see that guy and you want to know something about drums, Brad will talk to you for hours about music. Hours. He'll share every bit of knowledge. And Keith Waters Keith Waters has played with some of the top bands around here that you could ever want to book and have. Keith's played with funk bands. He's played with rock and roll. He's played with blues. He phenomenal singer. Brad can sing as well, but Keith Waters, phenomenal singer, great showman, great kits. Me and Keith talked for hours about drum sets and setups, and like he's the one that talked me into doing the hybrid drums. Phenomenal drummer, plays with heart, plays with soul, will teach you anything, will let you know anything, offers opinion. Both guys are great, funny guys, great sense of humor, really nice people, and have inspired me. So when I talk about my top 10 drummers, maybe I should have started with them too, as number one, sharing the number one spotlight. Keith Waters and Brad Warren, thank you so much for what you do behind the drum kit, and I don't forget it. Much love there, much love. But what I'm getting at is there's paths that you could take in music. Not everybody's going to make it to the top, but not everybody's top is the same. To me, would I like to tour Japan and have a tour bus and make Rihanna money? Make it rain. Yeah, I'd like to make that kind of money, and I'd like to do that for music, but that's not what drives me. That's not what pushes me, and that's not what inspires me. My love for the music and creating music is what inspires me, and I love to create, and I love the whole aspect of it. Even though the bands are tough and it's hard work, and keeping bands together is hard work and it's tough, I love it. I love it. Even in the most aggravating parts where you feel like, I don't ever want to do this again, I walk away from it, and the first thing I'm thinking about is, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to make this better? It's just what you do. It's like having an old muscle car. You constantly, even when you have an old muscle car and you've got it perfect, you're still working on it. You're still buying parts. You're still doing stuff to it because you love to do it. And I can't stress that enough, but getting off track here once again, you know what I said, my brain goes, every now and then my brain may go squirrely. I didn't even know I had that button. That was the first time I used that. Let's do that again. And the things that I want to get through, I guess, on this video, besides a bunch of rambling about drums and stuff, is what's occupying my time right now, and that's my band and creating another album. We've done one album, and I'm super proud of that album, and on that album I was playing guitar. Super proud of that album. That album still means a lot to me and a lot to a lot of people. And to me, that album, as far as I'm concerned, I've made it. When we recorded that album, when I was pulling in the parking lots and people would come in behind me with it blared up, don't even know who I am, but have my album on and go, that's Stone Bison. And I go, I know, because I'm in Stone Bison. You know, that's, to me, was a wonderful time in my life, and enjoyed it immensely. People coming up to me and going, aren't you in Stone Bison? Yeah. So I'm going to use that button. I found me a new one. But there's a lot of things in this life that I enjoy, but music and my band and the guys in my band, my family, they are my family. The musicians I've met along the way, Keith Waters and Brad Warren and Brian Edwards and Sidney Mays and all these people. And I can remember growing up, and Sidney was just a baby, tells how old I am. Wait a minute, that's kind of depressing. It is what it is, but they're family. All the musicians I've met along the way are family. 9 times out of 10, they become family. They mean something to you. Great times, and I want to have more of them on my way to the promised land. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to record as much music as we can get recorded. I'm going to play drums and love every minute of playing drums. I'm going to play bass, whatever they want me to play or whatever I need to play, I'm going to play, and I'm going to love every minute of it. I'm going to enjoy it. So I guess what I wanted to talk about on this episode was, what my future plans are and where we were heading and what my direction is, and I'm guys, I like doing this too. I enjoy sitting here talking, and I'm glad other people like it too. I don't know why anybody would want to sit around and listen to me, but they do. And as long as y'all are enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it, I'll keep doing them, and I'll have more Bigfoot stories and stuff. But what I really wanted to get to was what my plans are, and what you're going to see on my channel. And my boss actually had a great idea tonight. He's like, Ben, do you have any recordings of your band playing live? And I was like, well, some people got them on their cell phone. And he's like, you might want to start up a channel and record this as its own channel, just like you're doing this. And I was like, that's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? So you're going to see some of that. Props to him. I'm not going to shout his name out because he didn't give me permission to shout his name out, so I'm not going to shout his name out. But y'all who know me know my boss, and that was a great idea. And if you ask him, he'll say that's all he ever has is great ideas. But there's some things that I plan on doing, and I always I'm going to go back to doing more top 10s and reviewing my albums and some of these great albums. Man, if you could just see this wall of albums right here that I've got, freaking Wasp, Last Command, Kiss Lick It Up, Kiss Asylum, Rat Invasion of Your Privacy, just great albums, man, and I could talk about them all day long, just all day long, and I probably will. There's going to be a lot more of that to come. I'm just trying to figure out my way around this. I'm still new at doing these podcasts, and I'm trying to figure out a way around the copyrights. I don't want to rip anybody off. These guys put a lot of work into that. I don't want to steal nothing from them, and I don't want them to feel like I'm stealing anything from them. But I'm going to play some tracks when we get them on here, some of the demos, some behind the scenes making of the songs and stuff like that. Got a lot of things that I wanted to share and just kind of let you know that you're going to be seeing random things, and that's what it's going to be. And when I get a Bigfoot story or a UFO story or lizard man story or people under the ground, if I find it interesting, I'll share them stories too. It's getting spooky time. It's getting Halloweeny. So that'll be fitting in. I'm gonna do a lot of traveling with this. Next thing is I want to start doing some traveling and speaking with friends and talking with friends about stuff. I want to do a podcast with the two guys that started this. It don't matter. Gary Little and Brandon Brewer. We're definitely going to do a podcast with them. I'm definitely going to do a podcast with them two guys. We're going to sit down and just talk about random stuff because that's what they do and they do it well. I really wish I miss them guys doing theirs. I'm hoping that they'll get their fire back and start doing their show again too because I enjoyed watching them. That's what sparked my idea to do these. But that's basically it. Wasn't nothing big on this episode. Wasn't nothing important. I just kind of wanted to fill you in on where my head's at, where I'm going, what we're planning on doing, and I'm going to give you just a little bit more of this little sample track on the way out, and y'all have a great evening, morning, day, tip of the morning to you lads. And remember, turn it up.